For the last 2 weeks, I've been approached by at least 10 people for the same 2 questions that always came together. The first one was, oh, is that the new Galaxy? And the second one is, well, but does it explode? This proves just how much of a footprint Samsung owns in the smartphone market, where people associate the name Galaxy more with a phone than with the Milky Way, and where one mistake has only made the brand even more viral. The result is record sales across the globe, but the question is if all of the marketing accounts to a smart buy for you. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and this is our Samsung Galaxy S8 review, brought to you by Dbrand. Folks, for thoughts on the larger Galaxy S8 Plus, make sure you watch Juan's separate impressions linked at the end of this video. I've actually tested both, but have decided to spend most of my time with the smaller variant for a couple of important reasons. The first one is ergonomics. Products like the LG G6 did a great job in getting me to sip on the taller display Kool-Aid. I find the idea of a larger display over a smaller chassis to be genius. Sure, it is relatively the same surface area as other phablets, but a narrower body is easier to hold and operate with one hand. The second reason is because, with the exception of the smaller battery, you're pretty much getting the same phone. What was exclusive to the Edge Galaxies is now standard, no matter what variant you pick. And that is actually great because no longer do you have to grab a larger phone just to get added features. The metal trim is now protected by a glossy coating that remains intact, even after 3 drops onto tile, and that surreal feeling of holding a large phone that feels small in the hand is here more than ever. You have to thank Samsung's Infinity display for that effect. This is probably one of the best displays of the year given its blend of rounded corners, curved edges, and AMOLED technology that's now capable of HDR. At 5.8 inches diagonal, it nearly kills the bezel thanks to a crazy 83% screen-to-body ratio, and with palm rejection being addressed fully in this new model. The screen is capable of Quad HD Plus resolution at 18.5 by 9, but it is versatile enough to scale to just 1080p Plus to help with power efficiency. And you know what? I really can't tell the difference, so I decided to stick to 1080p for the full length of this review. And then buried inside, we've got some of the best specifications in the market thanks to either a Snapdragon 835 or an Exynos 8895, in addition to 4 gigs of RAM and base storage of 64 gigabytes that's also expandable. You can also continue to enjoy the benefits of IP68 water and dust resistance, and fast and wireless charging also make a return. To blend with the elegance of the hardware, we have Samsung Experience UX 8.1. Those of you who fell in love with the software of the Galaxy Note 7 will be delighted here. The company continues its trend of minimalism in absolutely every detail, and as much as I'm not a fan of Android skins, this one falls under my short list of exceptions. My 24 hours video linked at the end also goes through the details of what this software can do. My final thoughts after using it for 2 weeks is that I'm really liking Samsung's attention to detail in the basics. If you need a quick shortcut to anything, it's just a swipe from the Edge away, and I'm shocked at how much I've been using this feature on this phone. I'm also a big fan of the hidden home button, and little things like being able to swap the order of the navigation buttons. One of my favorite continues to be the secure folder, because I really like to protect my information, 1, and 2, the addition of having a second copy of applications in case you have multiple accounts. Concerns for a taller display were also considered. I continuously rely on the slide from the bottom for enhanced one-handed use. And as for application scaling, I am surprised at how fast third-party apps are adapting, with important services like YouTube already enhanced for it, even if the content is not really enhanced for obvious reasons. Other features like performance can be delightful for the most part, given the power of this 10nm processor. Games are surely benefited by this, with no lag or stutter to be seen, no matter what title I play. But the only thing is that I can't really call this phone the fastest performer out there. See, once you load it up with all your stuff and you start using it like a normal power user would, you'll notice that the UI is quite the RAM hog. The results are mixed performance, with minor stutters when moving around certain menu elements. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm glad that Bixby is not ready for prime time, as even pressing the button to get the cards can take forever. I would honestly say that this phone can really use Android 7.1 as soon as possible, and not just for the performance but also for power efficiency. A 3000 mAh battery is small for a display this large, with cases where I can rarely reach a full day of moderate use, and where 7.1's enhancements could really come in handy. Now, there are a ton of cool things though, like the insane amount of ways you can unlock this phone, with the iris scanner topping my list of favorites given its speed, and the fact that it works even through sunglasses. If the sun is too bright, you have the oddly placed fingerprint scanner to assist. Over time, I've become used to its placement, but I do recommend that you use a case for the hump to assist you in finding it. And then another welcome improvement comes at the hand of audio. Yes, you will hate the placement of the speakers.
The amp on board gets a little louder, it's going to be a little bit better at driving.
But I fully agree with Juan's Real Audio review in that this phone has made a dramatic improvement for headphone audio, and I even notice an added kick in loudness when using it for phone calls. And when it comes to the camera, let's just say that we all know that a Galaxy is a Galaxy. Juan's Real camera review is one of the most extensive he's ever done, and for great reasons. This continues to be one of the cameras to beat, even if most of the enhancements are in the image processing compared to last year's model. Double-click on the power button and enjoy some of the best photos a smartphone can take with amazing color saturation and detail. Just like I did last year, my advice to you remains the same. Just take the shot and let the phone do its job in the background. See, most of the time you will notice the viewfinder looking a little grainy, but I'm always surprised by the final result once I see the photo. Video is also one of the phone's high points, with its stabilization being one of the best in the market. And yes, the selfie shooter got a bump in megapixels, which is great for those of you who are fans of it. But I'm honestly annoyed at the crop that Samsung has adopted for video. The field of view has become just as bad as on the iPhone, and one of the things that I really wish that the company would fix going forward. To conclude, there is a lot of good to be said about the new Galaxy, as everybody calls it. Those of you that were left nostalgic by the beauty of the Note 7 will be happy to see even more beauty shown off here. There is a lot of genius being placed in this design, so much so that I highly suggest that you go to a store, hold one for yourself, to fully understand what I mean. The only challenge continues to be the same one we've always dealt with Samsung. Beautiful software should not be the excuse for stutters or for the slow speed at which Galaxy phones get updated to newer versions of Android. I'm not calling these deal breakers, but really just problems that are getting old for phones that are this expensive. Would I recommend the Galaxy S8? Sure, of course I would. My minor list of complaints can be fixed with a software update. This design and form factor are clearly the future for smartphones, and it's really cool that the future is already available to you if you would like to consider it. If you're looking to protect the glass on your new Galaxy S8, add grip, or prevent those ugly fingerprint smudges, head on over to Dbrand. There are tons of options to customize the look and the feel of your new device. We thank Dbrand for sponsoring this video, and you can learn more about them in the link below. While you're at that, make sure you follow us on social media and hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.